men I wanted to see.
Let me ask you something. Do you see anything wrong?
No?
No?
We got no engine, do we?
No.
Do we?
No.
Do we?
No.
And in case that wasn't clear, I'm talking about getting this freshly built by me S54 into this E46 Touring. But that's not all. Follow me.
Since the Touring was an automatic originally, we've got this M3 6-speed transmission to put in. Why not? Obviously. By the end of this episode, this car is gonna fire up. I guarantee it. It's gonna be super, super easy. No problems along the way. Real smooth, plug everything in. Right. Because at this moment, the only thing separating me from pure automotive bliss are some wires, learning to speak computer, a manual swap, and finally, an S54 install. And yeah, that's obviously a lot, but one thing at a time, let's get going. So, in an attempt to front load as much of the work as possible and make it easier for me later, I'm gonna take out the dash. Bomba. Bomba. What else? Don't drop it. Oh, too easy. Non-M. M, nearly identical. But this one's got a cool M symbol, so we're keeping it. Now, if you're wondering why I'm removing the dash, despite there being no real need to, and it's a fair question, it's because I have a lot of wiring planned. Not just for the manual conversion, but also for a lot of retrofitting that I want to do along the way. When you're doing this type of work, it's a balance. How much work do you want to do that's not the work that you were planning to do to make the work that you were planning to do easier? Does that make sense? I think it does. Okay, dash is out, and it's time to start the manual conversion process. We're gonna shift our attention to the pedals. Because to make this a manual, I need a clutch pedal. And to make room for the clutch pedal, I need to remove the automatic's brake pedal. And since we're bringing through the other two pedals, I may as well bring over the gas pedal from the donor car as well. So with that, let's get to removing. Jeez. Okay. Gas pedal. Bing. Get that garbage out of here. Okay, so it's out. Let's take a look at these bad boys side by side. This is from the automatic, one big gross brake pedal. This is from the manual. A brake pedal and a fancy clutch pedal. I don't like these covers, but they came with the donor car, so we're gonna rock with them. Now the brake pedals utilize the same connection. So there's nothing we have to do there. The main difference is obviously for the clutch. It needs fluid. So it needs a feed line and then, or I guess supply line, and then this will feed the cylinder attached to the transmission. But oh no, they have to go through the firewall. Fortunately, BMW thought of that. This car wants to be a manual. This is already a hole through the firewall for the feed line to the clutch pedal. And then if we go under the car, this just needs to be punched out to reveal a grommet behind it. This car wants to be manual. We're just gonna route the line through here and then that'll connect to the transmission that will be here. Free grommet. Gonna use it somewhere else. There we go. Cool. Take this bracket off so that we can alleviate some working space. Perfect. This comes up a little more. Easy. And the coolest part is behind this carpet, there's actually already a channel roughed in for that line. It doesn't get pinched. How delightful. I'm probably gonna block the entire camera while I do this, but I need 2 hands. Come on. Why don't you want to go home? Are you too good for your home? Maybe I should have taken the line off first and then done this, but we're already in, baby. Get the breakthrough. Okay. Brake on. Clutch line in. Ah, Jesus. Okay, only a slightly bloody hand, but that you can see. Clutch line's in, routed to a grommet behind here. So that's in. The brake pedal is connected. I'm gonna pop that clip in. These nuts are loosely placed in to make sure everything's okay. And then we have the feed line that I have to pull through on the other side. Let's start buttoning these things up. Cool. That's a brake pedal. Oh, it's dead. No! I have to do manual labor. Ugh. Always a nice feeling to set the ratchet from lefty loosey to righty tighty. It really makes you feel like you're making progress. And finally, the clip. Bing! Functional brake pedal. Get the clutch going. So now we can grab that feed line. Whoop. Oh, it's more full than I thought. It's still leaking. Let's get that on there. Should we cut a bigger hole? I think we should. Put that on there. Bing. All right, let's get the gas pedal in. Very nice. Cool. Okay, as I was saying, not a fan, not a fan, not a fan, but overall, I'm a fan. Wah, wah, wah. Ring, ring. Okay, that was pretty easy, but anyone can do nuts and bolts. That's fine, that's fun. But what happens when nuts and bolts turns into amps and volts? Get f***ed, nerd. So now somewhere in this lawless wasteland of wires, relays, fuses, are the switches I need to really wire in the manual transmission and the clutch pedal. Because at the end of the day, you want this to work. You want cruise control to work. You want the car to be able to start. You want the reverse lights to work. And for it to all work in an OEM manner, I need the OEM switches. So let's get digging. It's not this one. I know that for sure. Okay, we've got our thinking juice. Sponsor me. And what I've done is laid out the entire car's wiring harness. It's a bit of a mess. And I've located the clutch switch that I need. And I got the brown single clutch switch, which is the sought after one. So that's great. So what I'm going to do is unravel this harness, trace these wires from source to wherever they go, and try and relocate that in the Touring. Clutch switch out of the car and ready to go on the Touring. Surprisingly easy to isolate these wires. That being said, we had the whole harness on the ground, so working space was available. But 4 wires, a power, a ground, an EWS pin, and a DME pin. We'll put them right back into where they came from, just on the Touring. I also learned that these things are spliced from factory. These are all the 12-volt power supplies, and they're normally in like a little plastic rubber moret like this. So I do feel less bad about splicing, because I have to splice, not for the ground. This ground is going to go into this holder of the grounds that's already up here, so that's great. But this power supply has to be spliced in. Okay, find a free spot. Slide in the ground. Yeah, okay. Ground's in. Bing bong. Okay, let's get the solder. And clean up the power supply here. Buddy, that's all prepped nice. Okay. Not gonna burn myself.
We have paste on it too. Get the solder nice and right. Yeah, that's good. And I need this pin to go in slot 8 of this. Ah ha ha! It's in! Bang! That goes back on the EWS. Whew, okay, that just leaves one more to go through the firewall, up to the DME, and pinned. Okay, final piece of wiring. We need pin 23 out of this connector here. Boom, pinned. 21, 22, 23. Nice satisfying click. Let's go. That's it, that's the wiring. Okay, and now just a little bit of cleanup. I'm gonna take all these wires and attach them to the main harness here. And then I'm gonna take this, the clutch switch, and pop it into home. That's it. That's a functional clutch. Okay, so that feels like progress. All I have to do now is install a front axle, an engine, and a transmission. But before we can do that, and as has become custom, we must thoroughly clean the area, just like we did to the rear.
There is absolutely nothing fun about working in a greasy engine bay. So we take some time, take some pride in our work, and give it a quick clean. It'll also make it run better. And would you look at that? Take the time, do it right, it'll feel better later. And now a quick break from the wiring to go on to step 4, the front axle.
Okay, so before I put this front axle back on the car, I want to take the opportunity, just like we did in the rear, to swap out the OEM suspension for some Bilstein struts and Eibach lowering springs. And to do that, I need to steal the top hats from the OEM units and transfer them over to the Bilsteins. I don't think there's that much tension on these. What the? Easy. Two struts, ready to install.
I changed my mind. Axle first, then coilovers. I don't want them flopping around as I'm trying to install this thing.
Oh, we're too far back. Okay. Up we go. Can we get one loose in? Am I strong enough just to pick it up? Ooh, bug. Yuck. I don't think so. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Baby girl, what's your name? I think that's it. Hit. Yeah, that's the stuff. Like a glove, dude. Like a glove. Forgot the steering rack. Back it up. Back it up, Tear. Okay, back down a little bit. Easy. Oh, it's too fast. It retracts. You fool. That's it. Take 2. Very good. 81 foot-pounds, just what the doctor ordered. So now, it's just a coilover install. Just a touch of copper paste so I don't hate my life in the future. There it goes. Okay, that's lined up. Beautiful. Keep jacking it up. Stop rolling on me, please. Oh yeah, okay. Let's get the nuts.
and detour. Tighten those down later. Boom. Quick shout out to the old struts. Oh, it's still coming up. Just very, very slow. 47 foot-pounds for this bad boy. Oh, awkward to get to. Oh, need an extension.
With the front axle officially installed, we can take a little bit of a cleaning break and then back to the wiring.
So, we've wired in the clutch switch, and now the car will know when the clutch is engaged. But how does the car know when it's in reverse? Well, for an automatic car, that information comes from the shift lever. In a manual car, that information comes from the transmission. So this is the wiring harness from our manual donor car, and these two connectors go into the transmission. When I took this apart a year ago, I was smart enough to label transmission. So now all we have to do is isolate the wiring harness from the connectors to where it goes in the relay and transplant that onto the wagon.
Look how nice and clean this is. 2 connectors, 4 wires, 2 for the reverse switch, 2 for, I think, the transmission temperature? Either way, let's go over there. Let's do it. Okay, so now this is the automatic equivalent of the wiring harness we just messed with. And these are the 2 plugs that were part of the automatic transmission that I no longer need. And I don't want them just dangling here, not providing anything useful. So I'm gonna cut them. I'm gonna get them out of this wiring loom. I'm gonna replace it with the wires that I just isolated. It's gonna look so OEM, dude. Imagine I cut the wrong ones. I will. 1, 2. I hope these are not needed for something else. I don't think they are. Okay, so I've tied up the harness that we want to the harness that we don't want. So when I pull from the other side, I should be able just to bring these wires through to where I need them. And it should look super clean. Let's see. Yeah, how's that? We just untape the wires that I don't need, and we throw them in the garbage. This is so much easier with the engine out. So step 1 of a manual conversion, remove your engine. Cool. We'll tape this up just the way it was to begin with. I was never here. If you rewind the video, that's what was here before. This car's always been manual. Always gonna be manual. Cool. Let's get those pins where they need to go. Okay, a little snag. This pin is supposed to go into slot 20 of this connector, but there's already a wire there. And that wire goes back through the harness we were just messing with, I'm assuming into one of the O2 sensors, because that's the only stuff left there. So now we're gonna cross compare the wiring for the M3 headers and the M54 headers. See what that does. Okay, here's where we're at. 4 oxygen sensors and this extra one. Each oxygen sensor has a black, a yellow, a brown, and a red. We're gonna ignore this one for now. If you follow all those cables here, all the yellows go into this connector, and that's great. That's exactly as it is on the non-M chassis. However, on the non-M chassis, these 4 vacant spots are filled with the 4 blacks that come from the O2 sensors. Whereas on the M chassis, those blacks continue all the way to here, where they're all merged together, along with a brown, that's the extra sensor that the non-M doesn't have, and then a single cable goes back into this connector here. That's different. That's different between the non-M and the M. I'm gonna need some thinking juice to see if I need to retrofit all these over there. I think I have to, because this one for the M3 headers has nothing in the non-M. It probably would have been easier to take this whole harness over instead of splicing it a bunch of times. But you live and you learn, and it's gonna look OEM. And upon further inspection, the yellows, browns, and reds, they all go to the same spot in the non-M. So I think we're okay. We're just gonna bring over that 5th sensor that the non-M doesn't have, group the blacks together, and wire everything the same way. A little bit of problem solving never hurt nobody. We got this wired in. We figured out the mess over here. All the connectors lined up as they were supposed to. These get soldered together or something, but that's how it is in the M3 harness, so we're gonna recreate it here. And I get to tape this again. You gotta figure it out. Solutions. This is great. Okay. 3 more wires, which were the 3 that we started with before we got sidetracked with this whole side project here. So those 3 wires in, and I think we're done with the reverse switch. I am tired of wiring. And that is everything you need for an engine swap. So we could stop there, but I want a sport button and auto dip mirrors. So we keep going.
I'm not gonna make you watch all that. Just know it's a process of isolate and install. Isolate and install. Isolate and install until...
Done. Auto dip mirrors? Check. Sport button? Check. Auto leveling sensor for the bi-xenon headlights? Check. Most importantly, heated seats? Check. And finally, all this wiring, it's for the xenon headlights. I don't need them, but I want them. And on that front, we can consider it a check. Installed. A little lesson to anyone who wants to do this for themselves. Maybe just buy a donor car, or maybe just buy a chassis with the options that you actually want. And that'll save you from all this retrofitting that needs to be done. Anyways, for this next part, bear with me, there are still 3 more things we need to do to get the chassis ready for the S54. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is accommodate the M3's coolant expansion tank, which on the M3 sits here, whereas on the non-M sits about over here. And what that means is the connector, this being a non-M, is over here on the driver's side, and I need to connect it over here on the passenger side. Now you could just splice it, extend it, and plug it in. I don't like that. So instead what we're gonna do is run it back up the driver's side, into the cabin, across the firewall with all the other wires, down the passenger side, and finally into the coolant expansion tank. The second being the windshield washer fluid reservoir. This is where it sits in the non-M, and it obviously has the connector for the level sensor and for the motor to spray. In the M, it sits down below. So I'll have to extend the connectors to accommodate for that. And the final thing is going to be giving that coolant expansion tank and secondary air pump a home. The bracket to mount it doesn't exist on a non-M. So I have to go out to the donor car, lob them off, weld them here, and that's all 3 things. Plug for the coolant expansion tank level sensor, it's in.
And now it's the simple process of creating a jumper for both the windshield washer fluid tank motor and level sensor.
A little bit of heat. A little bit of solder. And then a little bit of heat shrink. Professional. Paste, heat, solder, beauty, and heat shrink. Cool. Now we got a bunch more wire to extend it on the car. One. Two. Let's go. Where do I put this? Where do I put this? Unplug. Okay. Then we bring back up the heat shrink. And dos, which means the plug for the windshield washer fluid tank, plan A, whatever we want to call it, it's done, check. Moving on. Okay, so I lied. The level sensor is extended. We need to extend the motor. I saved you the trouble of watching me do this again, but I've created my jumper. I'm just gonna solder it into the harness here, and then we'll be good to go. Bear with me. That's textbook, baby. Just goddamn textbook. Okay, perfect. Extended plugs for the windshield washer fluid, level sensor, and sprayer motor? Check. Time to go outside and get those last two brackets. And I picked the one cold day of the last 3 weeks to do it, so bing! Whatever.
First things first, we need a template. I don't know where these brackets go on the car.
Okay, let's see if that works. I don't see why it wouldn't have. We take those. So now I'm gonna just mark out these 4 corners where the tabs are gonna get welded to. That's it. I should probably go get the tabs now. I forgot to cut them off. I'm gonna cut them off. Okay, just loosely placing this in for now so we can get a feel of how it's sitting. And I'd say that's pretty bang on. I'm really happy with this. So what I'm gonna do now, remove them, prep the area for welding, tack these bad boys in, and I think that's it. And I think after this, we can finally put an engine in. I'm getting excited. First things first, let's get all this out of here. Back to hell from which it came. I don't think I need anything else from here, but we'll keep it just in case. Finally, we'll be able to walk through. It's been a problem. How? Bear hug? Yeah, all right. Sorry, excuse me. Power cable. Okay, that's out of the way. Okay, that makes me a lot happier.
And now we can prep the brackets. Mark the tabs and prep the area. And finally, weld them in place.
Now, when you are welding, make sure to use a very flammable material, like here and here, to protect areas from where you don't want the splatter to go. And that's the best advice I could possibly give. But now we got our first piece. It's gonna go just as we marked it. Just right there. Little wipe down. Just a little dusting. Put a little cavity wax there. It's gonna be great. Okay, while that paint was drying, I went ahead and retaped the entire wiring harness that I untaped. With the extra wires and the relocated wires that I put in, it's back to looking as it was before I ruined it to make it better. You follow? Anyways, now I just want to do a quick test to see how this fits. Just gotta find the dowels here, align them. If few wires in the way. Just need to relocate those or reroute. But push down, because that bolt lines up, that peg lines up, and that peg lines up. It's in! What else do you want, man? This goes across here into the thing. If I tighten this down, we'd be chilling. Cool. Check. Coolant expansion tank has a home. The brackets line up. We're good to go. There's nothing holding me back now from getting the engine in. All right, little recap. Wiring's done. Engine bay is ready to host the S54. Front axle all torqued up, ready to bear the load of the S54. I even changed this thing. This thing was falling apart, and I couldn't have it ruining the aesthetic of my fresh build, so it's gotta go. And I think with that, we can finally turn our attention to the engine. And it's about time too. We're like halfway through the video and we haven't even touched the engine yet. What kind of first start video is this? So we have everything we need for the accessories laid out, nice and organized. We're gonna pop them on the engine. I took it apart nearly 2 years ago, so it's gonna be a little bit of guessing, but we'll figure it out.
Starting with the tensioner. Alternator. Couple of hammer fists. An actual hammer. An old pulley. And a new one.
And another pulley. Listen to that. New one. Barely even spins. I don't know what's good. You know what we're gonna do? A little copper paste.
Welcome to civilization. Civilized man. Welcome to civilization. Civilized man.
Yep, that's good. Deal with this thing later. I think that's good enough for the first belt to go on. I don't remember how, but we're just gonna match ribbed to ribbed and flat with flat, and that'll probably get it there. Ribbed, ribbed, flat, flat.
Welcome to civilization.
No. Oh, the alternator. Whoops. Now we're cooking. Get on there. Belt's on. Oh, it's looking like an engine.
Welcome to civilization.
And I cannot possibly forget this little cutie. That's feeling good. Okay, let's do a little rotation. And we'll get the intake side. Come on, baby. Yeah. Oh, dude, you just gotta parallel park it. Okay, let's get the O-rings on the injectors replaced. Let's get the injectors nice and cleaned up. Let's get the injectors on the rail. Let's get the rail in the car. Easy. A little bit of O-ring lube. Slide in nice and easy. Oh, like butter. May as well do these at the same time. Okay, let's remove my little protective hip towel. All lubed up. Nowhere to go. Injectors, fuel rail, in. Your turn. There you go. Just looking beautiful. I think now it makes sense to do the engine harness, which obviously goes like this. Yes, yes it does. Throttle actuator, which I believe goes this way, like that. You know what's gonna be awkward? The water pipe. Because this baby's gotta go in there and then up and through. Can I get it in? Okay, probably not the right way, but it's gonna work. So as we work, let's get some lube on that real quick. Okay, now we're gonna tighten all this. Just a little click here. That's it. Great. What now? What next? The harness. So then the harness gets in here. Just loose for now so it doesn't slip away on us. And then it's like pretty self-explanatory where everything plugs in. I hope. So this comes to the DME. These go to the knock sensors. Should have maybe done this before the pipe. Makes sense. Also makes sense. There's only so many places these things can go. This one here. Why not? No, wait. Not there. This one there. We'll look at that later. This obviously here. This somewhere. Those somewhere. This there. This there. These probably on the starter. This there. Why not? Let's get the motor mount in first though. Let's do that. Shiny motor mount. Only one way for it to go. And that's the way. Then that's good. So I can plug this in. Yes, sir. Then this will have a home instead of just dangling there. Dumb spot though. The yellow is more for me to know that I've tightened down a bolt. So when I look back at this and there's like 3 bolts that haven't been tightened yet, I'm like, oh, maybe something's supposed to go there. Like here, this got no color, this got no color. What goes there? What about this? What goes here? Oh, I think I know. BRB. It's gotta be this bad boy. The fuel feed line. And then through. Get out of here. Cool. Where to now? This thing. No yellow means haven't touched it. Before we do this, let's finally tighten down the wiring harness, because I think this blocks it finally. I'm not gonna put any yellow on that, I can't reach it. Right, this thing. Oh, and there's a plug on it too. Oh, what could it be? There's only one spot for it to go. Only one spot that it makes sense. Okay, now, I'm really curious where that bracket for the airbox goes. I mean, it's gotta go to the one spot that doesn't have any yellow, right? It's gotta go here. Which means this probably goes into the airbox. I'm not so sure about these. These go into the ECU. Not so sure about this. So 3 I'm not sure of. That's not bad. I'll take that. And obviously this wraps around to there. Awesome. Okay. Let's tighten this down. Okay, coming around to here. We got one sensor. Need an O-ring. Need a different O-ring. Little bit of lube. Very nice. So let's pop in all these. Very nice. Oh, of course it does. And of course it does. Woo! Let's go. Just one sensor on that side. Very good. Very good. What else? Okay, let's figure the dipstick out. Oh, it's on this side of the plenum, isn't it? It is. Yeah. And this hose I labeled. So I know it goes to this and to the underside of the plenum. Okay, I think the plenum's gonna answer a lot of our questions. Let's go get that. All right, plenum time. And no, it's not carbon fiber. I know, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Maybe one day it will be, but for now, let's see where our missing connector. Ah! All my, come on now, don't be like that. All my hose clamps, I had them all nicely lined up and they fell. Well, these were a nightmare to get off. Oh, really easy? Oh, okay. Nightmare to get off, really easy to get on. All right, that answers this clip, which is great. From the oil pan to the airbox. There it is, perfect. That answers this. That answers this. It looks exactly like a fuel breather valve from an E92, which means it has to connect. I know where it goes to in the car. Could it be that easy? And then this clips into here, and then this clips into here, and then turns right back around and plugs into that. And that just takes the fuel breather valve, or the fuel line. Cool, okay. Did I forget these oil lines? Hopefully I can find some space to route them. I couldn't, but I think I can just take off the power steering reservoir, and then that'll be that. All right, that frees up enough space to slide these in. I hope. Oh, would have been easier to do it at the right time. But that's okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, I think that's everything on the passenger side, or on the intake side. Let's finish up the other half. Taking off the headers to free some working space here. Okay, let's start with the AC condenser bracket. Yeah, okay. Good. Before I forget, let's get this coolant pipe in. And it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit because this pulley's in the way, which is easy to remove. Tensioner. Okay, a little bit of backtracking. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But we'll take it. Very good. There we go. That's in. This can go back now. And we're back. Okay. Let's pop on the engine mount arm. If that's what it's called, I don't really know. Attached to the motor mount. It holds the engine. Call it whatever you want. Can't forget this little cutie. Oh, wrong way. Might as well do this while we're here. Trying to remember why 2 of these bolts were longer. That took a minute. I don't even know if this is right, but it looks right, feels right. Got 2 new crush washers for that. There we go. That looks right. Okay, I got another oil return line. Good. And then that explains what these 2 are for. Let's get the AC condenser on. It's not the prettiest, but it'll work. Let's quickly pop this bad boy in. Nice and new. You hear that? Yeah, me neither. So good, so new. Come on. Okay, let's get that belt on. That's nice. Release the tension. Ooh. Cool. Shall we put on some headers? I think we could. I think we should. Let's do it. But first, I put out a poll asking catless or OEM catted. And the results were overwhelmingly for catless. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, just not OEM. Catless, OEM, catless, OEM. Why not both? I know what you're thinking. Euro headers are catless and they are OEM. And I put a call into my local BMW and they quoted me $11,000 for the set. Fortunately, I know of a foolproof way to come up with that money immediately. That's right, we're talking Pokemon. And my friend tells me, if I pull a God Pack, my financial troubles are behind me. So let's see. It's $10, worth the risk. Honestly, whatever. Found these on Marketplace for a fraction of the cost. Bring, hello, OEM catless. Let's put them on. Now we can compare how much better OEM fits to aftermarket. Will I have to fight at all? Because I did on the aftermarket. Stunning. That's what we want. Oh, wow, wow, wee, wow. Stunning. Just stunning. I put you on car and we make a revy time, Make revy time?
Buddy, just look at him. Look at him!
We're not out of the woods yet. Let's get this out of the way so we can get the transmission ready. Needs a little love. Hit. God. There are a handful of things you can do to these to make them better. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of patience. I'm running out of money. So all I want to do here is replace the bushings and the shifter linkage. That'll clean out this little bit of slop here. And I'm going from an automatic to a manual. Bro, I do not care. Cool. This. I mean, look at these. Look at these. We're done. Yuck. Little cleanup. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Yeah. I am the press. Jeez, there it is. How's that? Honestly, might be a little too much.
And with that, it's time for some sleep.
Good morning. We're back. It's a brand new day, feeling focused, energized, caffeinated. We had to call it quits last night because I started making some mistakes. The most egregious of which is upside down control motor arm mount. So silly. I have to fix this.
All right, little flipperoonie. Yes, sir. That looks way better. I will say, you know, do make mistakes, but at least it was spotted before the engine was being put in the car. So, you know, as far as mistakes go, we're okay. It's fine. Little flipperoo on a motor mount. No problem. We take those.
Rear wheel steer. Time for the big boy.
Time to strap the engine to the hoist so we can get it off the stand. But we ran into some trouble.
Let's pull it out. Pull. What do you think? Look, how do you think I can do this? Like, I'm not trying. It's not moving. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Pull that up. Like, what am I, Hulk Hogan?
I swear to God, if you stop investing with me.
I like that.
And with the engine off the stand, we can finally access the rear main seal. With the rear main seal on, it's finally time for everyone's favorite pilot bearing hack. I'm not so sure it works.
No way. Cool. Here you go. For you. Oh, it came out nice too. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Flywheel here. There you go. Got some Loctite as well. A little bit of grease for the splines. Okay, wheel it on in. A little high. If we tilt down, we slide in. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Click. Click. Boss, go get the engine.
And without any delay, it was time to get it in the car.
Up.
But what does it look like when two guys who've never installed an engine try to do just that?
Okay. I think if you just guide the back over the subframe, I think you can tilt it a little bit by hand. What gear is it in? Maybe shift it forward. Or we can just knock out the pin.
If we can do that, that would help a lot.
Okay. I don't know. It's gonna
We
be
can
tight.
do it now. Do it now. What?
Well, this one, sure.
Go underneath
This one's a little bit thin, but I have to go around the straps.
Or underneath it.
Okay, a little sketchy. All you need is an engine hoist, a scissor jack, a regular jack, a lot of pieces of wood, a couple stands, whatever you gotta do to get the job done. But now, he's thread in like absolute butter. I had to drop the subframe. I don't know how you guys get it in without dropping the subframe. This has been a nightmare. Look at that. You sure you don't want to put a couple bolts in on camera? Look, you're already there. You're already on that side. You got the biceps for it. Yeah, get in here.
Done.
Done? Done.
Anyway.
Torque later. Okay, everything on the front subframe has been retorqued. It should stay where it is. It's the moment of truth. It either stays where it is or it falls on the floor. Let's find out together. That's an S54 installed. It's starting to feel real. I'm getting really excited. I gotta pop down to the underside and connect everything. I gotta connect my freshly rebuilt front end to my freshly rebuilt rear end. Let's get the drive shaft. Let's get the exhaust. Let's connect the clutch pedal. Let's go. Let's go. Fuel line connected. Fuel breather line connected. Manual clutch pedal. The line from the clutch pedal to the slave cylinder. Oh, so good. And clipped. That's a manual, dude. That's a manual. While we're here, let's quickly connect our manual wiring. Ho-ho. Ho-ho.
And with that connected, we can start with the drive shaft.
Leave that there for now.
And with that, drive shaft installed.
M3 heat shield, Touring's heat shield. Same, but different. So we're gonna use the cleaner one. Let's get that on there. Okie dokie. Yeah. Just like that. Very cool. This is feeling really real. Yeah, let's get the exhaust on. Gotta pop the heat shield on so we don't lose sight of it. There we go. There we go. Just like it was. Actually looks pretty good. Okay. Headers. Let's just muscle it up. There we go. Cool. Nearly forgot a heat shield here. Can't let that happen. Something like this, I assume? Yeah, just like that. Beautiful. Nice. Nice, very nice, everyone. Very good. Let's put the middle bracket on. And then we'll put the back on. No, back on first, then middle bracket. Oh, you're over there. Let's rock and roll. We can do a little swapperoo from the chair to the jack. I think that sounds nice. Probably should have done the jack from the get-go. But I'm not a smart man. Oh God, it's heavy. Okay, let's get it in. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. Let's get the nuts on. Another moment of truth. Oh, M3 exhaust on a non-M Touring.
All right. Now, in the interest of time, I've done some things without you, okay? I went ahead and did them rather quickly, but I think they were kind of boring things that aren't that fun to watch, and I'm talking AC lines. I'm talking O2 sensors.
I'm talking front sway bar.
And the clutch is going to need hydraulic pressure, so I had to throw the brakes on. Now I wish I could have done the F80 calipers, maybe at some point in the future. For now, the stock brakes will be just fine. But you join me now with a couple more things to do, and then I think we're good to go. And those couple things are, one, getting the radiator in and getting the coolant circulating, getting the spark plugs, ignition coils, and oil in the car, filling up the transmission with fluid, and filling up the diff with fluid. A little bit of coating, and then we turn the key. And this thing, I guarantee, will fire up. Let's go.
But before we can put the radiator in, I want to take the opportunity to swap this unit out. This came on the M. It's seen better days. Whereas this unit came on the non-M. And while it's still somewhat worn, it's far, far better than the M unit. So let's swap them. Just need to pry out one pin. Very good. And that pops off. Cool. Out with the old, and then in with the slightly less old. And before we put these units back together, I have a quick modification for the radiator. An electric fan. This is gonna replace both units that are originally on the M3 and shouldn't sacrifice any cooling, but making it a much more consolidated package. Feed in these cable ties. Pop it up. And then we just pop on the other side of these mounting brackets. Cut off the ends. Leave them nice and sharp. And then we can bring this back in and lay the radiator down into it. Yeah, just like it was meant to be. Let's tighten these E-torques back down. It seems really high. It's upside down. Oops. Yeah, look at that. Let me put that shroud piece on, then we're chilling. Okay, with the shroud this time. Yep. There we go. That's it. Okay, let's plug everything in. Very good. Look at that. Okay, coolant system in. Let's get the AC lines. Let's get the oil cooler. Let's get the power steering. And then we're gonna start topping up fluids. New O-rings. Some O-ring lube. Because why not? Yeah, 1 and 2. Okay, that's all looking nice. Now we're gonna go underneath for the oil cooler and power steering lines. Yep. Yeah, it's good. Excellent. Ow. Okay, we hit a bit of a kink, no pun intended, with this power steering line. Now, I think at some point while it was sitting in storage or whatever happened, something fell and really mangled this corner here. Unfortunately, it introduced a kink, a bend, and it is simply not lining up to the pump anymore. Fortunately, you don't need power steering to start a car. So we're gonna go without it. I'm gonna fix that in the future. I'm too excited to stop now. Let's get the oil cooler in. Okay, oil cooler. Shroud for oil cooler. Just pops right on, and then as a unit, onto the car. Okay, together on the car. Yes. First with the clips, then with the Torx. Let's get the lines on. Oof. Oh. Oh. Okay, thank you. Okay, get this in quick so it stops dripping on me. Really scared of aluminum, so I'm gonna leave it there. Thankfully, we're done with the underside of the engine for now because I'm tired of getting oils and power steering fluid and random stuff just dripped on me. I thought it was all out of the system, but I guess there's always something residual, so back to the clean work. Spark plugs. We've got some nice NGKs. Just finger tight for now, we'll torque these down in a second. Get the real extension out for the torque specs. Nice. Grab the coil packs. Yes. Engine oil, coolant. Let's go. Let's go.
For this, we are of course using BMW coolant. Diluted 50-50 with distilled water. Pretty straightforward. For engine break-in oil, we are using Valvoline's VR1. I don't know much about this. Saw it online. People seem to like it. Figured it'd be okay. Later, we'll transition to Redline 5W50 and keep that going. Beautiful. For all other fluids, transmission, diff, power steering, we're using the Redline lineup. I use it on my E92, I like it. It works.
Yeah, okay. Well, a little much. Okay, relax. Jeez. Let's get some paper towel. All right, hasn't slowed down at all. All right, well, at least we know we got enough in there. Lifetime oil. No oil change. I'll speak German. Okay, one big one. Yeah, that's good. Let's double check this one more time. This way. Yeah, we're good. All right, much of the same down on this end. Ooh, much thicker. Jeez. Noticeably thicker. Yeah. We're not gonna make the same mistake as last time and keep filling. Gonna put this back. Let that drain. Yep, finally, we're happy with that. Yeah. Let's clean up this mess, and I forgot something. This engine uses the same brake fluid for the clutch. So we need pressure. So we're gonna top up this pressure bleeder, attach it to the system, pump it up, bleed the brakes and the clutch. Leave it there, make my way around, bleed all the brakes and the clutch, I'll be back. I'm gonna put this on. Oh. Maybe you don't have to pump. Okay, pump it up. Okay, hold. We're good, you can let go. With the exception of the power steering line, this has all been going really, really well. A little bit of coating. I think it could start. Let's go. It's gonna bother me. New power steering line, let's pop it in. Okay, that's mounted in where it's supposed to be. That's lining up as it's supposed to be, and so is that one. Okay, get some crush washers, lock these in, fill up the reservoir, and then back to coating. Or, you know, start the coating. 1, 2. Get off there. Okay. Trying to spill too much here. Okay. We'll have to bleed that later. But for now, we got some in there. We're good, we're good, we're good.
To expedite this process, I plugged in the LCM, the cluster, and the DME. And with that, it's finally time to code. It was at this point where I realized I forgot something very critical.
It ain't got no gas in it. And at 220 a liter, it's better work. Okay, nothing obviously spilling underneath. Let's go. Okay, so what I've done now is just flashed my DME, and I sent that file off to someone much smarter than me to delete the EWS requirement to get it to start. I've received the file back, I'm flashing the DME, my heart is racing because I hate anything computer related. 30% of the way there. Once this downloads, I'm gonna turn the key. It should start. Okay. Anyone else feel like they're gonna throw up? No? Just me? Fine. We'll let it prime a couple times and then we'll let it go. Ugh. Hole. Okay. There's a couple cranks. Okay, fuel pump, good. Okay, I just went under and tossed on the M3 fuel filter and fuel pressure regulator, thinking it might need a little bit more pressure to get started. Probably should have done that to begin with, but you live and learn, baby. Okay, come on. I know you want it. Okay, let's give the starter a bit of a break. Okay, one more for the boys.
Failed start after failed start after failed start. Obviously, there's a problem.
You're right there, baby.
But what could it be?
I took out a spark plug to see if there's any evidence of fuel. And what I'm seeing is a brand new spark plug. And I'm not smelling fuel coming out of any of the cylinders that I've opened up. But I know the fuel system's pressurized because when I went to change the fuel filter, it all dumped on me. There was a lot of pressure in there. I had to alleviate it. I at least getting spark? Okay, we got spark, we obviously got air, we're not getting fuel. So I fiddled with some fuel lines. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna, maybe it's the injectors that are clogged, maybe the fuel filter's clogged. I don't know, but you know, fingers crossed.
After fiddling with the wires, relays, and connectors, I was getting spark, but I was not getting fuel. After checking the voltage to the injectors, the pulsing to the injectors, and the resistance across the injectors, something was evidently wrong. After a little bit more digging, the issue made itself very apparent. And the issue was...
I'm dumb. No other way to put it.
And the issue lay in this wiring rat nest. For anyone else doing this, take the whole transmission harness. Don't do what I did and bring over some wires but not others thinking that they were the same. Because while these connectors look the same, they're actually wired quite differently. So, I have to depin the good manual harness that I already cut up to make the automatic harness that I left in essentially be the same as the manual harness was to begin with.
Okay, fixed my mistakes. Hopefully. Come on.
After countless hours, so many late nights, it started!
Let's open the garage.
And now we just have to make the rounds to make sure it doesn't blow up.
Oh, it's the power steering pump. 1 second. 100%. Noisy pump. Something's dripping, or did drip, but stopped. Give me some, give me 2,000 RPM steady. Okay, hold on. Open everything. Wow, that sounds good. Give me some. We don't want it to idle in one spot too long when everything's breaking in. So keep it going. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Holy shit! Okay, I have to open the garage so we don't die. Catless setup. Alright, little oil change. It's gonna be full of metal. I do not care. I'm not even gonna look at it. It is what it is. Oh, so clean. It's brand new. What a waste of oil. Okay, up to temperature. Oil change. New filter. I guess if it's not a 5-liter bottle, then the funnel's kind of redundant. But we got one. I said I wasn't going to check, but we're checking. Oh. Like I knew there was going to be stuff. Can you guys see that? That's quite bad. Like, yeah, I cleaned the, like, jeez. Oh well, that's why we do that first oil change.
The following morning was absolutely beautiful, and I thought it'd be a good time to have some fun. But I was so focused on the engine not blowing up, I forgot about the rest of the chassis.
Well, I really wanted to end this video with a quick drive around the block to show that everything's working well, but the car had other plans. Okay, so I'm gonna consider this an overwhelming success. The goal we set out at the start of the video was to get it started, and it does. It fires right up. It moves under its own power. The S54 is in there. I rebuilt it. It's working. It didn't blow up. That's awesome. That's incredible. I was genuinely nervous. If you've liked what you've seen so far and want to keep tabs on the rest of the M3 conversion, consider subscribing. It helps a small channel out like mine a lot, and I'm genuinely interested in sharing the progress with you. The next time you see me and the next time you see this car, not only will it be moving under its own power much smoother, but we're also going to start making it look like an M. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. I'll even leave you with some enclosed garage revs. Keep you coming back.